Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, and the next trial is upon us. And my ear is finally better? I mean, it's unoccupied again. Whatever.
So is everyone ready to...
What? Why did I forget this iconic voice?
Am I blind? Are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
And just like he said a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible! You're terrible!
So, now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road! I'll see you guys down there!
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. So, you know, you're the main suspect, but I don't believe it was you. Was it you? There is something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. It would be too... If Toko turns out to actually be the one who did it, that was just way too easy to figure out. I don't want to believe that it was that simple. I want a twist. I want an interesting twist. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race, faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. Yeah, me neither. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop.
What do you think? I redecorated! Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get the show on the road once again.
thrills, chills, kills!
Alright, great. And so the curtain opened, once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A lot of dead here, a deadly class trial. Is that... Oh well. I mean, yeah, let's save. I just I want to make sure that I save here then. Oop. Alright, set skills. Extraordinary focus. And of course the melodious voice. Increases damage to the opponent when statement is destroyed. Oh, the bullet time battle, of course. And the extraordinary focus, gauge by 2, effective during the class trial. Okay. Okay, maybe I should have reviewed all the evidence. I mean, this is one of the main reasons why I don't think it can be Toko. No, Toko wouldn't be able to lift this. And the other thing that I think of that she can be it is the genocide Jack notes. Among they were killed in the same way mounted to nearby the world. Blood. Yeah, but what about the scissors? And also, this was exchanged from the boys to the girls' locker room. Oh yeah, there's also the theory that she is a trap. Or they are a trap. Maybe. Maybe that's probably why she wanted me to examine her body more thoroughly. To find out that she may be a trap, and that's how those items got switched out. And that is the reason why she didn't want her to train with everyone else together, cause then the truth would come out that she is actually a he. Or at least she has the sexual organs of a male. How can I not offend people in their gender finding process? I mean, you have either male or female reproductive organs. That's something you can refute. If you feel more like a girl or feel more like a man, that's a whole different topic. And I don't judge any of it. In any case, finish the preparation.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I mean, the dumbbell, wasn't it?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
What?
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Wait, what?
Poor Chihiro.
What the hell? Scene of the crime, there was something with a bloodstain on it.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Wait, how do
It
I...
appears it was a...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt...
I bet it was an iron pipe.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I wanted to do this the whole time, but it missed.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Great!
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
I mean, how else would you find out?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
No, it's not. It's not Toko. I don't believe that because that would be way too obvious.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Oh, well, maybe. But no, I still think it's a copycat. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Do you really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yes! Wait, there's a new element? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the A button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer on. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Okay, good. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. Genocide Jack case file. Wait, I need to look at my thingies. Suspected Genocide Jack victims include Ken Haradara, Bababa, Shojigaku, among countless others. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodlust was found at the scene of each crime, written in blood. Profiling indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Oh, there's no proof for it. Oh, okay, that's obvious one.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it.
Oh!
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
Whoops.
But that's impossible!
Why?
Well, I mean, come on, there's just no proof for it.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I already lost points probably because I shot something different.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
I kind of want to already redo this to get a better mark since this was just unfair. Whatever.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
That's what he wants to make. This is just what the... Oh, how is he called again? I always forget his name. Douche, where is he? There. That's just because he found and showed you. I still think it's him. He's too calculated.
I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Oh no!
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every genocide which the world at large doesn't know. It has to do with the positioning of the body, message of where the murder took place, how the victim was positioned.
I got it! Apparently, in every genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
Or someone just found the files and made it look like it was Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Nope, it's not. It's too obvious.
You lie!
That's a good scream.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why has this gotta be so complicated?
Oh, it's not even started yet. A riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Wait, what? Wait, what was this about? Can I get help? Hangman's Gambit. Wait. H and I. I am not sure what I'm supposed to shoot here. Oops. Ah, no. Wait. I don't know what word I want to shoot here. Oh, that's a miss, okay. What? Sheesh. Ah, that's okay. T, I guess? Ah, shit, so... There it is.
Now I understand.
What is that for word? For frick's sake! That's the word,
Is it
shit,
because
so?
Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Oh, is okay, yeah. I kinda tried to go there, but it didn't make sense at first. Alright then.
Huh?
I mean, it is called a Hangman game, so I can guess.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have it has to do with her behavior. She fainted. Her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's just the effect of the shock, I would say.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. Was that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? If that would be her other personality, she would say, oh, look at my beautiful work of art. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back. Top inning and a bottom. A sea of truth and a web of lies. Yes, it's quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Obviously.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I mean, they made it so obvious, but I don't believe it's her. I drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Oh boy, yeah, that's basically him. But then again, did you promise her anything?
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Oh, but don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
Yeah, it's him. I'm more and more convinced it's him. He made it look like it's her, set everything up appropriately, but oh boy.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but...
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Coco's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Oh.
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Oh, I like that voice because it's crazy.
Yes! What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Oh boy.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
Sound and murderous mind, sound and murderous... What?
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know.
I mean, how can you even speak with the tongue that long? It would be something like this. And this is now how to speak like this.
Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
I mean, she's not wrong about that. I mean, I have my personality that for some reason is totally different when I'm doing YouTube than the one that is just staring at a screen when I'm not on camera. Since, I don't know, it's just more fun to try commentating and entertain people that way. Instead of being just that happy, being that talkative in real life. Is this the murderous fiend? Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Oh boy.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Yep, that's what I expect. I didn't expect her to actually be the genocide chick, but I did expect that she wasn't the murder. Well, in this case.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. She said I need to get some more details about all of this. Can I save? Yeah, I can. I use a third slot now. Status of dead body. Wait. Body had been suspended and her hands had been bound with some kind of rope. The fatal injury was a blow to the head.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Oh, damn it. Her voice line was cut off because I paused the screen. That's not fun.
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
I have to just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. It doesn't match completely, does it? I think I know what it is. I mean, she uses Genocide Jack uses scissors specifically made for it, and he hangs up his victims by stabbing scissors through the body and pins them on the wall.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to this, the modus operandi
matches completely.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Scissors, right?
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Oh boy.
I murder with passion and conviction.
See? I knew the scissors would be important. This is the crucial detail that doesn't fit the crime scene. The people were suspended in this position by pinning them with scissors. And she didn't have enough scissors.
I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Whatever that means.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murder and the photos from the other genocide. Look at the neck and stomach. perfectly clear. The style of the bloody message. The victim's fatal injury.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
With a heavy dumbbell.
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Yep. It was not pinned to the wall by scissors or other objects. That's right, the second is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the general, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. You see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
And she doesn't have enough scissors to actually commit any murder. Otherwise, she would need to change her MO.
And you know what else?
I like the voice actor of this one. I like it when you can go full crazy on a voice. That's why I liked so much to do Monokuma.
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Oh, because Makoto, Big Mac. Oh boy.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
One more difference?
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Wait, what? Were they all male, or what is she referring to? Ken Harada, Tetsuya, and Shoji Gakumo. So, does she only murder men?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Well, maybe she isn't a girl. Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victim. Chihiro didn't hit it? Look at the names of every victim. What would you notice is Chihiro was a lover. I guess because... Wait, so she's not a trap? Aww.
I got it!
But yeah, it's right,
Is
okay.
it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
But I think she... Man, my theory goes out the window. That would have been the reason why she tried to do all of this in secret. I mean, what other reason would she have to train in secret other than other people not noticing that she goes into the boys' locker room? but I mean, it's hard to say for me which names I used for male and female, but they look all very male. Matsu, Takufumu, Uchida, Masamune, Yuto, there was no end to it.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
Oh, I murdered them all!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
Just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl? What? Oh, wait. What? That doesn't make any sense!
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Oh, but that is the other plot twist.
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
Yes.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
True.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
No, they have a sewing kit, and the sewing kit has a scissor in it.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, is that a JoJo reference?
She's fully equipped!
That is a JoJo reference. It has to be. Amazing.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
But you forgot that how is he called? I always forget his name. You forgot that Byakuya Togami actually spent a lot of time in the library, and he was the one who showed me the book in the first place. That means he read it before I read it, and therefore he would have been the only other person to know about how Genocide Jack does his thing.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. There's one person, and that's him!
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? you'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Oh, he's silent.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Oh boy. But still, you can't speak with your tongue out all the time.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
When you didn't attend to the morning meeting?
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
The locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it?
I have actually no idea, so I'm going to put a save.
Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Oh, don't be so condescending, you prick. There was a clear contradiction what Byoka just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. What? Non-stop, would you like to... Yeah, sure, whatever. Next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the Y button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Mukuma file too.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room, you absolutely take it!
I wouldn't say so, but what the victim was Shihiro Fujizaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The girls' locker room on the second floor of the school. Okay.
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
What? Hearing a comment about Chihiro being a girl, realized there's a clear contradiction there. Oh, are we now doing the plot twist where it turns out she's a boy after all? But I'm not quite sure, because it doesn't make sense how we could have known before we'd even found it. I need to make the contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room, you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl, so of
No!
course I would suggest you check the...
There was no time. What's so
Fuck.
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction!
The victim
was Chihiro, who was a...
No, that's wrong.
How would you have
I'll
known?
tell you what's so strange about that.
How did you know that the victim was a girl?
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit.
Why did it take me so long to figure that out?
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
With Byakuya's attitude. It's like he doesn't even care. Let him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Huh? Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Difference between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? Could it be? Library desk then.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again?
Wait. I want to use this lamp often, however the extension cord had gone missing at some point and the lamp's cord couldn't quite reach the outlet.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope
before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
There we go, got you! Maybe I should just run it through,
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
It's not quite right. Doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Wait, an accomplice?
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
Wait, what?
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Maybe he's really just an accomplice for someone else.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still.
Yeah, there are too many evidence pieces left. Why were the posters exchanged? Why did the carpet change?
There's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you?
The murder actually took place in the boys' locker room and then was shifted.
I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. Was that just now? Something's not right. Yu's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something about what he said. The scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
I mean, no, yeah, but it doesn't mean that she was murdered there.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did you just... He lost his composure. Why is this such a big deal that the murder took place somewhere else? Did I just take you off guard? The story suddenly moved to the crime scene. Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now. Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room. A few things, actually.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Yep.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
Who almost all look like girls.
Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
It's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Yep.
But why would anyone do that?
That's the question that I couldn't answer yet in my mind.
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
But why is it so jarring for Byakuya?
What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
Oh, because we stripped away his defense. He couldn't possibly murder her in the girls' locker room because he wouldn't have access to it. And after he murdered her, he took her tab. Oh, so she's not a trap. Oh well. Why am I so disappointed about that?